I'm here with the second PSA for the Elite Hockey Hotline. And today I want to talk about players and how they interact with their parents during practice or during games. And being on the obviously the development side of it, coaching side of it, we see all aspects of good things and bad things when players are interacting with their parents during those times. And in my opinion, I think that we need to limit the, looking into the stands and looking for thumbs up, thumbs down. Some players that we train, they know that if mom or dad put their hands in their, put their head in their hands like this, or they walk away, or they look disgusted, it truly does affect how you play as a player because in the back of your head, you're thinking, man, I just disappointed mom or I disappointed dad. And I know when they walk out, that means that I'm not playing good. And these are things that we need to avoid. We need to learn to play through adversity. And our parents, having those quirks that they do when maybe you're playing bad can really affect you playing even worse. When in reality, we want to be able to, have a bad shift, come back to the bench, refocus, take a breath and go out for the next shift without looking for mom or dad or, seeing like, oh man, did they approve of that shift? And it goes for even like practice and skill stuff. You don't want to have your player always looking in the stands and looking for a great job or a thumbs up or thumbs down or you need to work harder. The higher levels you go and the better player you become, when you're having a bad day, when you're having a good day. You don't need to always be putting that pressure on your player and having them always looking for you in the stands because again, it can be a very positive thing or a very negative thing. Just like coaching and just like players, parents, we need to stay at one level. We don't need to get too high or get too low because in the end of the day, it's going to have a bigger effect on the positivity or the negativity if our players are always looking in the stands and not focused on what they're doing. So PSA is be supportive. Just like we tell players as a parent, don't get too high, don't get too low, and don't train your player to always be looking in the stands to see if you're still there, to see if you walked away after a bad pass or you're going crazy after a goal. Obviously, it's great to support and be excited and cheer, and that's completely different. But don't train your player to always be looking for the recognition from mom or dad on the negative or the positive side. Just be there, be a neutral ear, and let those players know after the game. Have a conversation with them. Talk about pros, talk about negatives. What can we do different? What did we do good? Okay, do both sides. Make sure we're creating well-rounded players that can handle adversity, and that they can handle adversity on their own. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to perform, and they're the ones that have to learn when mom and dad aren't there that they can still perform the way they want to.